Hey everyone, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where I show you what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. And today, we're going to be taking a look at a piece from a brand that has just been getting hotter and hotter and hotter recently. So, they've been around for a really long time, so that's kind of odd, but the fashion press is writing about them. They've just been getting more and more attention. And if you haven't figured it out yet, I am of course talking about Bottega Veneta. So this is a brand that is more known for more kind of muted pieces, definitely very fashion forward and often kind of odd, but this piece, as you can see, is very loud. And that's because it's actually an older piece from them. I'd say it's almost more along the lines of like Kim Jones at Dior or something, some of this very artistic work printed on shirts, stuff like that. But I have this piece, it's new with the tags, so we're gonna take a look at everything about this piece and we'll try it on to see how it feels and give you a fit review, things like that. So I'm super psyched, let's get into it. But first, I've looked into it and a very, very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free, just press that button and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. So first, I actually want to show this to you guys because this came with it and I think it's so cool, a really cool like relic of the past. So it's a little pamphlet and it's actually, as you can see, from a trunk show. And you can see from the photos on the inside of these pieces, that they were clearly going very hard with this print on my shirt with these pieces. But you can see, as far as I can tell, I've looked into this, apparently they would kind of travel around with their new collection, just showing it. And I suppose maybe selling them too, I'm not quite sure, but I think that's really cool. I wish more people did traveling fashion shows. That's sick. So there is our shirt. As you can see, absolutely insane. I'm so excited to check all of this out with you. But first, we've got to start by taking a look at the brand tag that comes with it, the retail tag. So this is a nice brown piece of cardstock, very thin, very bendable. You can just kind of see it, relatively raw textured cardboard there. And then printed on there in gold, you can barely feel those letters. You've got Bottega Veneta, that's their kind of logo print, and that should be consistent everywhere we see it. And on the back of that, we've got the sticker that has all the good info. I'll also note that the back side of this cardstock is a little lighter than the front side. So we get a barcode up here, we get a model number. There's actually two model numbers here. I'm curious to see which one is which. We'll actually look these up and I'll find like the runway picture or something of this so you can see. Model name, blouse on, and rubber something. I'm not sure what that would be. Maybe that's like the model name. And up here, we've got a size. So this is a 48, which should roughly translate to about a medium. It's Italian sizing. This just has a thin black woven string here, and this one right up to a simple black safety pin. And will you believe it or not, I actually found it. It was look 20, I believe, in the Spring-Summer 2013 Milan collection, and they kind of showed it under these sheer cardigans or something. Very, very cool, very striking, and I think it still holds up today. Now it's time to take a look at the brand tag at the back of the neck. So this sits a bit higher than your usual brand tag. I would say usually they're below the collar, but they've put it right on the collar, interestingly. So this is a very, very small embroidered tag here. You can see on my finger how far it makes it. It's actually really, really tiny. So you've got this dark gray, it's got a light sort of texture to it, kind of metallic looking, and then stitched in there in black, Bottega Veneta, and they've got that kind of logo print. It matches exactly with that retail tag, and then smaller in all caps underneath, made in Italy. And you can see there is quite a bit of space between each letter there, interestingly. And that is stitched down really cleanly, right in the middle on the both left and right hand sides with these kind of cream colored stitches. And if we turn that over, we can see it has a kind of like, if I don't drop it, kind of stringy pattern to it, so you can't see the letters coming through on the back side very cleanly at all. And those stitches do not show through to the other side of the shirt, just to be noted. So completely hidden, those stitches holding that in. Next, let's take a look at the care tags inside the shirt. So this is really interesting. We've actually got multiple tags here in different fabrications and sizes. So the first thing here is a looped over tag for the size, and this looks like the same material as that brand tag at the back of the neck. So you can see it's a 39, 15.5 US, that's like the neck size. Again, that about equals to a medium. And they've got the same things on the back there. And then you get into these sort of thick, glossy, cream colored tags. This one's very small and looped over, and printed on it horizontally is the contains non-textile parts of animal origin print. And that continues on the back there. The next tag is a bit bigger, as you can see, but the same material, and it's got that company information. Then under that, it's got the fabrication. They do put a sticker over it, so I am actually really curious to know that fabrication. Okay, it is 100% cotton, which I should have guessed, but the shirt has a very interesting feeling, which I'm sure we'll talk about later. Then you get into your washing instructions. It looks like in Italian first. Then you get 5 symbols here. This one is also a loop tag. And on the other side of that, those washing instructions continue. You get into English. And at the bottom, there's just a little bit of extra space there. And that is what you get for those care tags. And there are no visible stitches to these because they go right into this side seam inside the shirt. All right, now let's take a look at the unique elements of this shirt. And oh my God, let's get in deep there because we're gonna wanna get a close look at this. So all of these effects are crazy. I guess they're printed on. You can't feel them though as print. There's no change in the feel where there's color or not color. It's just really crazy, and they look like they're painted on. Like if you look at that flower, the effect of that is incredible. And you can see on the inside of the shirt, the back side of that print coming through. So I'm wondering if they use different color stitching. It's crazy. I really could not tell you how they did this. And as you can see, it's an all over print. There's not a single place on this shirt that is not covered in this pattern. Another thing that I really like is this white contrast stitching. It's quite visible, especially against the black of the print. And you can see how clean that stitching is, how tight it is, how close it is to the edge. Really good craftsmanship. And if you see any stitches out of place or wonky in your Bottega Veneta piece, it's a bad sign. The buttons are a nice kind of like oily black. They have a little bit of that color to them, like, I don't know, a crystalline color. But yeah, pretty simple overall, but I think they work really well with the piece. Even under the collar, there's this little kind of strip of reinforcement that I think is awesome, and I like the pattern that they chose of that floral right there, right underneath, so that if you were to see it, it's a nice pop of the floral colors. And of course the back continues that patterning. Like I said, it's unbroken everywhere, and you can see that the way they've done this paneling right here, see the line going right across the back here. It's almost like a Western style or something, I would say. But I really like the effect that it gives, especially with that highly visible contrasting white stitching. The cuffs are fairly simple and standard for like a dress shirt, as you can see. And the hem is very thin. I would say this is a shirt that's not necessarily meant to be worn loose, so they'd probably expect you to be tucking this in. So now that we have checked all of that out, let's try this shirt on to see how it feels and see how it fits. So there is a lot of actually really interesting stuff to talk about with this shirt. So first, let's talk about the feel. I had to take that sticker off in the care tags to see what it was made out of, because it has a really unique feel to it. It doesn't feel like a normal cotton shirt. First of all, it has essentially no stretch to it, and it feels quite cool and almost artificial. Like, imagine making a shirt out of the most luxurious shower curtain ever. That's like the closest I can come to describing it. It's not actually unpleasant. It actually feels very high-end and luxe and expensive, but it's not your normal button-down shirt fabrication by any means. As for the fit, I would consider it a slim fit, which isn't surprising. A lot of the high-end luxury Italian brands have this kind of European tailored fit, especially in the time that this piece was made. That was definitely all the rage. That was the style then. So for a piece like this, I would consider sizing down, because this is supposed to be a size medium. I'd say it fits like a true to size small, from the length of the sleeves to the sort of width of the body, especially that neck, that top button. If you had a neck bigger than me, that thing probably wouldn't even close. And as I mentioned, this shirt doesn't have any stretch, so if it doesn't really fit you, you're kind of crap out of luck. It's just not going to work for you. But overall, I find this to be a super interesting shirt and a really cool archival piece from a brand that's just getting more and more and more respected as time goes on. So I'm super happy to have it. So that is what a real Bottega Veneta shirt looks like. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.